But right now at 9:38, get ready here in the Charlotte area to ramp up for some humidity. My hair is frizzing up. Look at that. That's what it does.
It looks great.
Thank you, Carlene, but it's just not the way.
I also vote great as well.
Looks great.
Yes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, what's happening, Chris?
It's a great hair day for Jane is what's happening.
Never.
That's what we're talking about. Even though the moisture values say differently, but Jane's the exception in this
right.
room, and Carlene, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me not so much. Actually, I'm a little bit poofier than normal too.
Oh,
yeah.
You got
looks
volume.
good.
Yeah, no, I definitely have voluminous hair.
Voluminous
Yes.
hair.
To say the least, especially this time, like a couple weeks before the haircut. But yeah, let's get right to it. Since you brought up moisture, here is our muggy meter. Anything 65 is humid. Anything 70 is muggy. Where jokingly we actually ran through our thesaurus for other ways to describe
Oh,
how hot
yes.
and humid it was. So let's actually bring that up.
Muggy.
Yeah, muggy. Well, no, we don't want to use muggy. So I have swampy, steamy, soupy, soggy, clammy, stuffy, sticky, saturated, soppy, nasty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nasty. A
Yeah,
lot of
nasty.
S's.
A lot of S's.
I actually took off one of the words because it's a trigger for some.
Well, oh, gosh.
Moist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't like it.
Some people don't like it. I did it here on the stream. Yeah. No, it believe it or not, I think it's about 50% of people that sometimes like, oh, don't say that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, though.
Yeah, it
I
is.
guess I'll use
See,
swampy.
I would even say it's above moist at this point. That's why I have all these other different adjectives to describe
sopping. I like sopping.
it. Sopping, yeah. See, you know what? We're also raising your weather thesaurus and weather words instead of just your
You know those
weather
word of
cue.
the day calendars?
Yeah.
Yeah. So today
this.
for me will be sopping.
I usually just call it a hot tub. It feels like a hot tub outside.
No, there it is. It feels like a hot tub. That's true.
right.
Oh,
Good
a
stuff.
sauna.
Sauna.
That's probably more than that word.
So our heat index, and I actually calculated these myself. Now the formula for heat index is complicated, but you literally can type in what you think the dew point's going to be and the max temperature. And I calculated a max 97 for us. Not saying that it won't be hotter than that, but I think Charlotte is going to hit a max of 97 for how we feel today, 99 on Tuesday, and around 100 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, we're about to go in the weeds, y'all, but I want to bring something up, and I thought this is really interesting. So I like my weather stats way too much that sometimes I look far into things, and this is what I looked into. Since 1973, this is as far back as I can put this data, these are the amount of hours that we spend at each temperature range. So per year, we spend 339 hours feeling like it's 90 degrees. But what I thought was really interesting is that we only spend on average about 24 hours per year feeling like it's 100 degrees. So those 200s that I had on there likely will only be less than an hour. So I wanted to put that in perspective. So far this year, 2025, we spent 25 hours at 90 and only 1 hour at 95. So the warmest we felt is 95. We are going to be exceeding that. And it's even rarer for us to hit that 105. At that point, we're usually talking about heat advisories and the real feel and those excessive heat warnings and stuff like that. Well, that technically is 110. But it's so rare once we get to that point. And the warmest Charlotte has ever gotten is actually hit 6 different times. Can anyone guess the hottest temperature we ever had in Charlotte history?
106.
Ooh, close.
Really? I wasn't even going to go above 100, maybe like a little 101.
104. So we've hit 104 6 times, and we have not been able to pass it. So that's kind of the threshold. Now we have, and the peak I think we've got is 111 is the hottest we've ever felt, which is kind of a nice little spot to be in. There's some areas that really exceed that excessively, but just wanted to bring up some of those stats because I thought it was interesting. But I'm going to actually jump to the 7-day forecast before we get into kind of our one rain chance of flood threat today. Okay. But this is where our actual air temperatures are going to be. We have 91 tomorrow, so 89 is the cool spot. This is technically the coolest day of the week, if you want to call it that. Feeling like 97. And 93 Wednesday, 90 on Friday, and officially with the last hour of the day, we're calling it summer because the summer solstice starts at 10:41 p.m. So that means this weekend is actually the first summer weekend, believe it or not. And we're actually up to 95 degrees, which would be our hottest temperature of the year on Sunday. Could be challenging 100 degrees again. We see a little dip in the mugginess on Friday and Saturday, but plain and simple, this is pretty much what you expect through July. We're just doing it a little bit earlier, so not really too much of an anomaly overall. Moving forward for our rain chances, you're going to notice that some bars are higher than others. And once it loads, we'll take its time. There it is. You're seeing really just more of a scattered rain environment, but it's not just that. We actually have a chance for some flash flooding. I think it's similar to what we had last Thursday. So last Thursday, we had a trough that was over the area, and that led to one storm after another, really slow movers. We have a front to the northeast of us, and that's why you have the area yellow for our excessive impacts for any rainfall. And then we do have a flood watch for some of our select counties. It's really interesting where we live because of the division of National Weather Service offices. So Stanley, Richmond, and Anson County are actually covered by Raleigh's National Weather Service. Watauga and Ashe County, the two counties that you see outlined for the mountains, that's covered by Blacksburg up in Virginia. And the rest is Greenville, Spartanburg, and then we have two counties to the south, Lancaster and Chesterfield. They're actually Columbia. So sometimes it's a nightmare for some of these maps. So if you're ever wondering why is it inconsistent, they all have to agree. But Greenville, Spartanburg right now, and I was talking to him in the chat, does not agree that we have the criteria for a flood watch any further west. So that's the reason why you kind of see that broken, weird little jets. Nothing's really uniform going on. They could compromise and maybe add Rowan County to the mix, maybe Iredell. Just letting you know that I think anyone along the I-77 corridor and further off towards the east could have a torrential downpour that could lead to some flooding because we have troughs, we have fronts, and we have moisture and heat for all the mixed together. Those are the big three. You need the hot and humid weather to be uplifted. Sometimes on their own they can drive, but if you have a trough, which is the dash line, which is just an area low pressure which rises things up, or a front, that's prime time. That's how you get storms, and that's exactly, I think, what we're going to see. So let's slow it down for you. First off, rain chances scattered today, not so much tomorrow, really becoming more isolated, and our rainfall chances after that. Looks like the only day that doesn't have at least a chance for a spotty storm is on Sunday. But roll tape, I think it's right around the magic hour of 1 to 2 that we start to see a few isolated storms. I think 2 to 4, there's a chance that just one stray storm pops up and kind of dances around. Really from about 4 to 7, that's where they become more scattered, even becoming numerous across the area. But as you can see, they're especially populated further off towards the east. So that does align with that flood watch. So the general rule, the further east that you go, better chance for a little bit of flooding. And this will continue through the evening. Then once the sun sets, we lose a lot of the energy and the storms start to fade out. And then we rinse and repeat. However, the second rinse will not be as long. I think you just see a couple of storms popping up through the afternoon. Not as widespread of a map, and watch what happens when I go all the way to Wednesday. You barely have anything, truly just isolated nature. So by far today is the best chance for rain, best chance for flooding. We're not going weather alert today because truly we could go weather alert for every single day that has a chance for flooding, and we're going to be wrong 95% of the time. That one that happens on Thursday where some of us had the flash flood warning that was considerable. Brad actually brought a really interesting fact. I have to learn actually where he found this data, but that would actually be considered a 500-year flooding event for Tyvola Road alone for how unique the rain was in that section. So I thought that was very interesting there. Yeah. So those type of deals don't always pop up. However, today would be in line for a better chance for that overall.
All right. As far as this week's plans, because selfishly I have family visiting. My sister-in-law on Wednesday might go to a Knights game. I think they're home this week.
Yeah, Bark in the Park on Wednesday.
Bark in the Park.
Bark in the Park. Okay, so maybe not Wednesday, but Thursday. We're looking pretty good just sopping.
Yeah, Thursday, if you're going to a Knights game especially, it's going to be torrential downpours the whole time. It's going to be
Nice.
it's the worst case scenario. No, I'm joking, of course. This is a chance for an isolated storm. You know that. What you do is you go under, go get a drink, go get a hot dog, and then
They have hot dog specials then.
they do have. What do you know?
$1 dogs?
So I think that was it.
Ooh,
I
that's
think that's what
nice.
attracted me.
See, go
A
get
bargain.
a discounted dog if
Yes.
that happens.
All right, so
Whenever
discount dog
these
day.
environments, it's weird, but I do it. I always say bring a small towel with you just in case it's a downpour, because then you can go there and just dry your seat. The attendants usually can do it for you, but you can kind of beat that curve.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Carlene, any questions?
No. Did you have a good Father's Day?
I did have a great
Oh,
Father's
yeah, you
Day.
played
actually.
golf?
How was
Yep.
golf?
Golf's great. Went to Skybrook in Huntersville, which is much better than some of the more public courses I'm used to when there's like 500-yard courses and stuff like that, or foot courses or whatever it is. And then my sides are still a little sore because I guess I'm not really used to golfing that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
my obliques.
it'll kill my back for a while.
No,
there.
but it was wonderful. Big shout out to my wife. Yesterday
Go,
was
Kim.
awesome. Yeah, my wife Kim and JT made a very special day. We went monster golfing. You guys familiar?
No.
Oh, it's pretty cool. It's in University City, and it literally is just glow in the dark type of things where it has a bunch of neon paint and it has like monsters and stuff and a little arcade. So I thought that he would enjoy that, and I got the high score on the basketball game.
Wow.
job.
Yeah,
fun.
I'm really good at that little hot shot. So
Sounds like a great Father's Day
It was,
weekend.
it was.
Very nice.